And to summarize the rest of it, I joined HT, I went to London, I left home at 16, I joined Neom College where I met Ed Hussein. I was elected as president of the Students' Union. We radicalized that campus and murder occurred by people that were supporting our ideas. We were expelled from there, but I continued with HT, or Hizb-ut-Tahrir, to the point where I was requested to export them and to set them up in Pakistan, which we did from London. I went out there in 1999. And then when I returned a year later, I was asked to export them into Denmark, which I did in the year 2000. And I eventually ended up in Egypt, where for the second time in my life I was arrested at gunpoint. And that was by the Egyptian state security. We were taken to their torture cells, we were interrogated, and eventually I was convicted to 5 years for being a member of Hizb-ut-Tahrir. My experience in the prison led me to question Islamism as an ideology, and the core thing that I will focus on is, as well as the debates and the constant critical discussions that I was having, and the fact that I by then had learnt Arabic and was able to access classical Islamic sources, and we can go into some of this in the Q&A. But something I would like to also mention is Amnesty International adopting me as a prisoner of conscience, despite the fact that I considered them my enemy, and they full well knew my views, that I considered them my enemy. But on principle, because Hizb-ut-Tahrir is not a terrorist organization, but rather is an extremist Islamist organization that is problematic for society, that needs to be critiqued, but because they weren't violent, Amnesty adopted us as prisoners of conscience. That led me to a bit of a contradiction, because here were my enemy, going out on a limb to defend me, knowing that I disagreed fundamentally with what they believed in and considered them a tool, an extension of colonialism in the Muslim lands. That act, and in particular the dedication of one man from Amnesty, John Cornwall, who tirelessly campaigned for our release, opened my heart to the consideration, to the thought that there are good non-Muslims out there who do not consider me their enemy, despite the fact that I consider them my enemy. And that in itself began the snowballing process of me beginning to question the ideology.